Hi, my name is Joyce Osteen, and this is a video detailing my lab procedure for this week's lab. So the first thing I did was I went to Walmart and I bought some string, a protractor, and a ruler, and a potato. Once I did that, in order to conduct my experiment, what I initially did was I took the potato and I created a groove towards the center in order to promote more accuracy with the trials, to ensure that the string was staying in the same position and making sure that the weight was equally balanced. The potato I measured at the store, and it is almost exactly a quarter pound, but just a little bit under. And so what I did for this experiment, instead of starting at 80 centimeters, I actually started at 140, which was the max, and I worked down because I thought that would promote accuracy. So what I did first was I tied the potato to the end, and for every single trial, because of the way I tied it and the way I am decreasing in length, this part stayed pretty standard the entire experiment and procedure. So what I did was I started at 140 centimeters and actually went a little bit past it to have some string in order to hang up. And once I started at 140 centimeters, in order to conduct each experiment, I used the protractor. I put it up, made sure it was even, held this down straight, and I moved it for the 10 degrees trials to from 90 to 80, which is 10 degrees. And from there, what I did was I held my phone in my left hand, and upon letting go of the potato, I used my stopwatch in order to record the time it took to make 10 oscillations. And for the purpose of this experiment, the definition of an oscillation is one complete movement this way and that way in the negative x direction and back to the original position. And I did that for every trial, and as I decreased in centimeter value, instead of measuring from the potato upwards, because that was a lot of room for error, what I did was I actually went from my 140 mark and I decreased. So I went to go from 140 to 120. I just measured 20 centimeters this way to know that this would be the point I would tie up, and to make sure that this part of the pendulum was staying pretty standard in order to promote accuracy between the trials. So that's what I did for every single one of my trials. Once I recorded them, each trial I put it into the data sheet and then used that to conduct my measurements. Here's an example of one of my trials. So here we have 80 centimeters from the potato to the top here. And we're going to conduct this moving the string 20 degrees. And so what I did for every single one of my trials was I held the protractor up, made sure the potato was not moving, and I held this up, made sure it was level with the door frame and that the string was aligned with 90 degrees. And then I moved it from 90 to 70 degrees, which is 20 degrees. And then as I released the potato, I clicked the green stopwatch and recorded the amount of time it took for the potato to complete 10 oscillations. And this is what I did for every single one of my trials.